Would help. Hello and good evening.
Hello.
Hello for this. What month is it, Jane? October the 8th, 2025. We have just finished watching the third episode of Survivor 49 titled Loveable Losers. But we're just getting started here on Super Mater Brothers Podcasting as we continue our mission to watch every episode of Survivor and talk all about it. And yes, as you can tell, we're here solo this week as the entire podcast crew has somewhere else they'd rather be, Jane. But, you know, they...
Go, Jays, go.
Go, Jays, go. Go, Tron, go. Go, other podcasts. Or, in Foster's case, basketball pool. In Jeff Mader's case, working at the curling club. You know, these are the things that have to happen. But we're just going to break it down here as the third episode of Survivor 49 has finished airing here. And we are going to talk all about it. I'm Dave Mader, joined with my lovely wife, Jane Mader. And we have a... Well, I would say a great panel to break it down, and we do, but it's just you and I.
I think this is my first Survivor.
It's the first time you've done Survivor with me? Well, it's the first time I think I've done it with you, so it should be good. Now, I did ask you the other night to do this, or maybe last week.
Yep.
But you were like, I said maybe halfway through the episode tonight, are you excited to be on tonight? And then you just looked at me like, oh, I didn't know. Oh, tonight. I have to be on tonight. Yes, that's right. Well, sometimes that's how it goes.
Happy to be here.
Glad to have you with me, Jane. Now, since we've never talked Survivor,
yes,
I guess there's a lot of places we could go with this podcast. We should stay on topic,
yes,
and stay with this episode. And how have you been enjoying this season so far?
Well, it's only been 3 episodes, but it feels like it's been quite a few more. It's been a lot happened. I already lost a team almost.
Yeah, tonight, of course, spoilers if you haven't watched this episode so far, but we lost 2 people in this episode. Jake and Jeremiah are gone from the game, and both Canadian. This is an anti-Canada Survivor night. And the only thing that's going to make it better is if the Blue Jays do beat the Yankees, which right now is happening.
What's the score?
And it was 4-1 for the Jays last time I checked it. But the Yankees are dangerous. They're a tough team, you know. No slouches. So the Jays, you know, they almost had them last night. They were winning, and then they lost. That's how it goes sometimes. And that's just how it went here for Jake on Survivor. Jake the Snake, the Leafs fan, presumably a Jays fan as well.
Jake the Snake.
Well, there was a wrestler back in the 80s called Jake the Snake Roberts. And here our boy Jake, gets bit by the snake here tonight, and he is medevaced, basically.
His friends will forever be calling him Jake the Snake now.
I think he's earned it. I think he should be known as Jake the Snake of Survivor. Like, remember Jake from season 49? What season? People won't remember 49, but then you go, Jake, the guy who was bit by the snake.
Yeah.
And it's poetic, it rhymes, it's rhythmic. I think it's good.
Like season 2, what was the guy that fell into the fire?
I can't remember his name anymore, but I know the guy you met, who like fell asleep into the fire, burned his hands, and we saw his basically skin melting off of his fingers.
Yeah.
In the water.
Didn't remember
there.
his name.
Well, it was like 25 years ago, but I haven't thought about that season in a minute. Like I remember Colby, and I remember Tina. Like Jeff would remember it. He's always good for that kind of thing. You're putting me on the spot here. This is something the guests
You're
don't
the
normally
expert.
do. I'm not an expert.
I'm
just
just
here
a
to
fan,
talk about
really.
Survivor. I like to just have some fun here on Super Mater Brothers Podcasting. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends all about it here as we're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or you might be listening to us on the audio version. And poor Jake, he gets taken out of the game. Now, Jane, we've been taking a poll each week among the podcast people saying, which 2 of this cast, we know 2 from season 49 are going to be on season 50. And that's been varying a lot. There's been a lot of hype for Rizzo. There's been a lot of hype for Savannah. I have to pull up.
Right now, is Jake a contender? It's allowable. I'd say Jake.
Well, every week we've been taking a poll. Now, we have never asked you what you would have said, so it's too late in that case. But we can definitely. I think I would definitely after tonight say Jake is one of my picks.
Hands down, yes.
So here I'm just going to quickly update this. Who else? Rizzo, Savannah, Matt has also been a fan favorite.
Savannah's getting a lot of screen
But
time.
after tonight, I'm going Rizzo and Jake.
Jake.
Even though the consensus is that they wouldn't pick two guys or two women. They're probably going to pick a man and a woman from this season.
Yeah.
Probably. But, that's just who I think has the highest option right now. So, Jane, who would your pick be for this, or two picks?
I would say definitely Jake and. I mean, it's still so early though. Like, there's so many people we don't really know yet. But Savannah gets a lot of airtime.
Savannah does get a lot of airtime. Yeah. She seems to definitely be a key figure of the season. She is part of my draft team. I also think Rizzo is a big part of this season.
He's my pick on my draft.
He's your pick. He seems to be charismatic. Let's have a quick look at Rizzo.
And now, the man, the myth, the legend, R-I-Z-G-O-D, Riz God, baby, has some tools in his toolbox to work with in this game.
This guy oozes charisma, for a young man of, how old is Rizzo? Riz God, R-I-Z, as we would say here in Canada. Velosevich, 25, from Yonkers, New York. Yes, and part of course, often referenced, never quite backed up here, Team Jane, which consists of Rizzo and Nate. Are you liking Nate?
No, I'm not liking Nate.
What's wrong with Nate?
He had a comment when they were looking for the idol. He's like, what did he say? It was so impossible to find. I'm like, no, it's not. So he's defeatist.
He's too defeatist. He's the oldest person on the tribe. He's struggling with the vibes. It's a very vibes, not a very logical driven tribe. But you're pulling for the Reds. Now, we also see, looking into next week, there's going to be a big tribe swap here, as Blue has been decimated. In 3 episodes, they went from 6 people now down to just 2, and you can't have a tribe of 2. So we know that. So the one option is you split them up and you put one of them on yellow, one of them on red, which I almost prefer. But is that fair to the surviving members of Blue? Shouldn't they have a chance for those 2 to stay together?
Yeah.
And the only way you can do that is if you allow them to have the chance to be randomly selected together.
Yeah.
But what if they get split up anyway? Is it good for the game? Is it good for the show, Jane, to shake up the tribes, or
start fresh?
Or is it more exciting going into the merge if you do have sort of like 2 groups that have been completely separated and competitive with each other for 15 days, half the game, or whatever it is?
Well, they're definitely going to have to give me little cheat sheets, because I hate it when you get the swap and then the swap that I start forgetting who was with who originally, and what where the loyalties lie.
That's why they make them wear the clothes.
Right,
they make them wear red clothes and yellow clothes and things.
Yeah, but then I don't always remember. Oh, they were on this initial tribe.
But the clothes are always their initial tribe.
Okay.
Right, and then they give them the new buff.
I don't notice such things.
Well, I'm just trying to, because look, they so in the case of Blue, we'll always know who the Blue people are. They wore blue.
Yeah.
Or something bluey.
Bluey, purple, gray.
I don't know. I feel like it could be
black.
more pronounced. The red people. It's red and gray kind of thing. It's not always that red. And then yellow, I don't know, they're very summer. Yellow.
Cheery.
Right. So anyway, lots to break down in this episode. Lots to talk about this season. But I felt like, did we need the vote out of Jeremiah in this episode? Was the other big thought I had coming out of it. The fact that, sometimes in these episodes where someone gets medevaced, they're like, okay, well, no, we won't have tribal tonight. It will just, that's who went this time. But instead they say, nope, we're going to make the Blue team go to this challenge today, make them run it. They lose it anyway, right? So now the 3 people, they've already been kicked in the teeth that day. They already had to vote somebody out yesterday. It's only day 5.
So you think they should have just done the swap,
or cancel the
challenge?
Cancel the challenge that day and just move on to tomorrow.
Because they've done that in the past. Was that specifically this type of situation, though?
I guess all you're buying there is one day, right? But you're instead of making Jeremiah have to be voted out on the exact same day that he went anyway. Now, in a 20-something day season, I guess in a condensed season, it's less of a important, but it just, I guess all it would have meant is that Blue would have to run that challenge in the morning instead of that day. So what are you buying? One more day, one more sleep. Who cares?
I'm okay with how they did it. They could have won the challenge. They were in there.
They were to the puzzle.
Yeah. They just suck at puzzles.
They have no puzzle. On yellow, they have, what's his name? Jason. Jason is the puzzle king. And red, they're okay at puzzles. They're at least better than blue. They've been way ahead the whole time. But yeah, that was kind of like, I don't know, like they run these obstacle courses. They make them do dives and do all this kind of acrobatic stuff. And really, it all comes down to a puzzle at the end. It's like, sure, you're going to get a few seconds, maybe a minute extra time. But the puzzle is way longer than that. So I think that it's having somebody on your tribe who's mentally strong might be more valuable than someone who's physically strong, like Jake. Like if they had Jake in this challenge, right? I think they still lose.
They would have still lost.
Jake's no good at puzzles.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? They might have got there even sooner.
Yeah.
But like the difference would not have mattered.
Yeah.
So
that's a strength.
Or is this a fault of the challenge designers, Jane? Is this something that they're like, okay, we're trying to balance the physical with the mental, and I guess they're probably saying, like, hey, the puzzle takes this on average, like a group. I guess they must have test groups that come through and say, how long does it take to do this puzzle? How long does it take to run this course if you're really trying? And of course, it varies from group to group. But for whatever reason, Blue, they really drew the short straw in all these calculations.
Yeah. And I wish we had Foster here, Josh, to talk about challenges. I found they're so formulaic now. Like
they're very formulaic.
Same over and over again.
Right.
And
as someone who likes sports, I'm always into it, kind of. But on the other hand, I'm like, it's like there's a high degree of randomness to this. I don't know who will win, and that sounds like a good thing, but it's really because I just don't know how to judge the skill, like how athletic and or mental any competition is just based on how they run me through it, and what that's going to mean for like the times and everything else. So I almost want to go next level on it and analyze it in a more cohesive way. And so from an entertainment standpoint, I'm finding that lacking. And I have for a while with the challenges, but on the other hand,
they're just dialing it in, I think.
It's better than like a Big Brother challenge where I have to get all these like confessionals about like, this is why I want to win. I want safety. At least I don't get that.
Yeah. I'm going to win this week. Yeah. We don't get a lot of that. That's good. That Big Brother falls into, but
much better.
But the challenges aren't as inventive as Big Brother, or at least Big Brother Canada for sure.
Right, and I guess that's the other thing. The producers like saying, "Okay, are we going to make Blue go to Tribal Council tonight or not?" And they were like, "Well, but we got the challenge already, and like, what are we going to have an episode without a challenge?" That's not entertaining. Like sometimes people have been medevaced in a challenge. A lot of times it's like someone got hurt in the challenge or after the challenge. There's they get taken out, but it's unusual, not unheard of for something like this with Jake, where the snake just comes out. I know it rhymes.
Jake the snake.
Jake the snake.
Jake the water snake.
Yeah. What do you make of that whole moment? Like, is this just a random, like, is Jeff's analogy of getting struck by lightning accurate here, that this almost never happens? All his crew from Fiji, no one's ever been bit. It's so rare.
Yeah, I believe him.
Yeah,
I believe him. Yeah,
you wouldn't hesitate to go or to.
But what I did disagree with Jeff was that he said he was bit in the water. I thought he was bit while sitting down on the beach. Did I miss?
He was on the beach, but his feet were in the water.
Oh, okay.
I think.
So he stepped on the snake, kind of.
He said the snake came up to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
He said but swam. It's a swimming snake. It's a water snake, but it can go on land.
Yeah.
What was this called?
Something snake.
It was
water snake.
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
A dangerous snake. It's in the book. But now we got to see a lot of behind the scenes too in this episode. We got to see that they have a book there, Jane.
Yeah.
A binder.
A binder that's never been on camera.
Never been on camera.
What else is not on camera?
Right, but like if I was just bored looking to fill my time, what you got nothing to do out there, but
Yeah.
by time I'd be like, give me that book. I'm going to look at the pictures of the dangerous animals I should
Yeah.
stay away from.
And they do.
And they probably do.
Sure.
Right? We of course after
Survivor Bible.
Jake gets taken on the boat, and then he gets taken to the Survivor base camp, and we got to see a lot of that
Yeah.
in this episode. Which, well, I have the footage. I'll see if I can pull that up here quickly, just without audio, just so we can have a look at everything that we saw with the episode with that behind the scenes. Like, it didn't look like the most luxurious.
Well, that's what kind of surprised me. But then again, you're on an island. But I'm like, oh, this is pretty islandish, like little weather beaten than I expected for Survivor. But
Right. Yeah. It looked a little like, considering they're there all the time, I thought just a little bit. Here, let's just the footage here. It's more like when they get like, of course they put him in the stretcher and everything else. And then they take him down this long pier here. See if maybe that. Probst. Like,
there you go. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just like, do you see they got a little village here, basically. Like a bunch of golf carts. It seems like everyone kind of gets around this compound on. I'm more interested in like the behind the scenes movie magic of this all.
Yeah.
Because I knew Jake, I was like, okay, like Jake is either going back into the game or he's at least going to be okay. I was a little surprised because I thought that they would sell the medical emergency of it on the preview last week more. Jason said, "Oh, there's no way he'll be fine," because we would see like a doctor, we would see this kind of stuff in the preview. It wouldn't just be Alex saying, "Oh, I'm really worried about him," But we were proven wrong based on that assumption, and we get to see everything here. With this setup, and I knew once like we saw like the ad here come up of like TD a bit, like even the fact it's in the episode at all, basically.
I didn't know this was coming. I missed the preview or something last week, so this was a complete surprise to me.
Oh, you didn't know that he was getting bit by the snake and all this kind of stuff?
No.
Yeah. Well, I knew they said he's gonna get bit by a snake. Alex in the preview last week said, "Oh, I'm afraid for his life." But we're like, but we would see Jeff there talking to him. We would see like this kind of stuff. They left that out of the preview, and
and so I immediately asked ChatGPT after the snake bite happened because we were wondering, and based on what it said, I'm like, oh, he's not coming back because it said there's follow up, blah blah blah. You have to be watched even after the anti-venom. But so then when I saw that, that he didn't get venom, I'm like, oh, he's coming back for sure. But no, the doctor pulled him.
Now,
do you agree with that?
I guess, like, what can you do? Like, basically, it's the doctor's decision. So no matter what, it's kind of.
I guess maybe he was he could have been in shock or something like that. Like, there's other.
Well, they're saying like, this bite is pretty serious. The fact that it's a dry bite and there was no venom, which apparently is more common than not.
Yeah.
Still doesn't take away the fact that there's a high degree of risk. If he were to die out there, they could,
That's
that
true.
was malpractice basically.
That's true.
So they can't risk it, right? They're like, no, we're going to keep you here. And he's at that point, I would argue he maybe shouldn't go back into the game anyway. He has been pulled from the game at that point because he's been medevaced, and like I guess you could split hairs and say, well, if he hadn't had anything to eat or drink and whatever, then it should be fine.
Yeah.
But you could also be, if you're a purist and say, well, no, but he didn't survive.
He did not.
He
did not survive.
He did
The
not
snake got
survive.
him.
But that could happen in a survival situation. Right? Like you're out on this island and all of a sudden, like, you're a shipwreck and someone got bit by the snake. That's how it went.
Yeah.
That's how Jake went. Who knew? It's named Rhyme. It was Jake the Snake. And that's how they eulogized him on Lord of the Flies. And,
Yeah.
all of that.
Well,
But
Jake the Canadian snake.
Jake, okay, this guy, his father's going blind. This was his last chance for his father to see him on Survivor. His son is being born as well. And I just thought.
He was a good sport about it once the doctor made the call, though. He accepted it,
Right.
That was good.
Where's my picture here?
What are you pulling up?
You know, we get this little like blurb here. I think maybe Jeff felt bad that they had to pull him because maybe they wanted. Jake was a big part of everyone's plans here. Just trying to pull this up. This is the only screenshot I have per se. Jane. You know, he got to be home for the birth of his son. Maybe like you know the universe fate was saying don't go.
Yep. No, and he got the experience. He got 6 days out of it. 5 days.
He got the
6
experience. I thought he was an Oilers fan. It turns out no, Leafs fan.
Wonder why. How? And he's originally from Saskatchewan, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's from Saskatchewan. Maybe that's why he's a Leafs fan because
Maybe.
Saskatchewan less loyalty there to any Alberta teams.
Do they have a hockey team?
Not an NHL team.
No.
No, they're kind of close to Winnipeg, and they're kind of they're in between Winnipeg and like Calgary and Edmonton. But you know, Saskatchewan, I could see someone from Saskatchewan just picking the Leafs easily. So that's another young Leafs fan joins the fray.
Oh yes, he's being indoctrinated. Is he wearing a Leafs?
Yes, he is already wearing a Leafs baby thing.
Oh yes. I know some other family members who do that.
Yes,
Indoctrinate, get them young.
that's
Get
right.
them while they're young.
Well, that's you have to because
It's a religion.
my dad let me get a mind of my own. I became a Calgary Flames fan. Right, and then you learn by the time Jeff comes along. No, Jeff, get him before like first word is Leafs.
Leafs.
You know that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Just don't let them find their own way there.
No.
Anyway,
So what else? We saw the base camp there.
well, there's also I guess the tribe dynamics too. But yeah, if we want to stay on Jake here, Jake. You know, we saw the base camp. We saw the doctor pulling him. The only thing I did mention was that you know when he's like Jake. I actually have the clip here of when you know you're not going to be able to be in the game anymore. He starts crying here, and here let's pull it up.
Very quick.
Very quick.
He accepted.
He's like, "I'm sorry, Jake. I can't pull you into the game." And he doesn't have any like. This is not like a proper hospital. This is not a proper medical facility. So he just kind of looks over here as Jake is getting emotional,
Yeah.
and he hands Jake basically like a paper towel, like an old like sponge towel that's just kind of off. It's like it's the end of the roll too. It's the very end of this kind of dirty roll on this kind of crappy looking fold up table.
Yeah.
In this fancy Survivor joint
And
here.
I like how he uses it, but barely.
Yeah.
Like,
And then he's like, here you
just
go,
politely, like just. Oh,
I'm sorry to make, but yeah, this was, I'm sure, a sad moment for Jake. But, you know, it just looks like the most noofy napkin I've ever seen as he's, you know, blowing his eyes here. But he's like, but guess what, Jake? You get to go home for your son. No. So isn't that good?
Have you ever been in a medical situation such as that where you were so jolted by the, you know, I think like
by what?
By the experience, by this, how scary it was to have so like I can't imagine have so many people around you being on a stretcher and all that.
Well, when I had the ski accident when I was like 12, and I went through the fence, and then like I had to go in the ambulance. I think anytime you go into an ambulance or anything like that, and people are putting masks on you and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's like even if there's nothing wrong with you, you just the shock of it. Maybe there is something wrong with me. Maybe everything's wrong with me.
Yeah,
you know, and just how much that messes with you. And yeah, like you know, big strong guy, but got taken down by a snake. Poor Jake. Yeah,
poor Jake. Take that. Oh.
That's it. We talked about the challenge. We talked about the Jeremiah and everything else. I guess we can get to maybe before we get into like the 3-way vote.
He should watch over bullfrogs.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Well, I guess he could, but Jeremiah. Well, that's a song. Doesn't rhyme with Jeremiah.
I know.
With no wrestler was ever named Jeremiah the Bullfrog. But
any bullfrogs on the island though? They could be a little risky.
Are bullfrogs dangerous? I don't know.
If you lick them, maybe.
Maybe certain frogs, but we'll come back to Jeremiah and everything else. I guess the only other thing we haven't really talked about is in the earlier part of the episode. You're right there. You're cracking yourself up.
I cracked myself up.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great. is just, I guess, like we saw the dynamics with the yellow tribe and we saw the dynamics with the red tribe. Just like before all the drama with Jake unfolded and everything else, because it was very focused, I guess, on the blue tribe in this episode largely because, they lose 2 members. The yellow tribe, the main thing I took away from their segment tonight was we found out that MC and my boy, what's his name? Matt, right? No, not Matt. Who's on Team Dave again? Steven. We found that MC and Steven are tight, right? That they
Okay, so Steven is the guy on the left.
Steve is this guy.
And
yeah.
MC is
Her.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, and we find out that there was all the talk in their tribe, like, we should go
That's
look for
right.
our beware advantage, and we're all going to share it. But on the other hand, we see Steven saying, like, I'm telling everyone, we're all working together, but really, Steven and MC only trust each other, and they're both kind of telling us in their confessional tonight that they're a strong duo. I think they're setting that up for the rest of the season.
Was he the one that said, we're all doing on the group look for the idol, but only the smart players know what's up?
Yes.
But then Rizzo, he goes, I found it.
Well, no, that was on red. So
different one?
I'm talking
Okay.
yellow.
Okay.
I always want to call him Matt, but his name's Steven. On my draft team this season, the guy with the hearing aids.
Oh, okay.
And he's he seems like he's one of the smarter ones. Like obviously neither yellow or red have had to go to tribal yet, but they want us to kind of remind us what's the dynamics here, who's running stuff. It seems like Jason, even though he's really good at puzzles, he doesn't seem like he's super tight with anybody.
No.
There's Matt, who's the older guy. He's
With the dreads?
yeah. He's, I don't know, he's very quiet in this episode. We didn't hear from him tonight. We didn't hear too much also from what's the one on Daryl's team, Christina, even though she was in the challenge a fair bit. But was there anything really happening with her in the episode?
No.
So
But we'll get to know them next week.
right. Well, they're gonna get all split up, and we're gonna see how that all unfolds. But then with the red tribe, the main thing over here is that we kind of knew this last week. There's a core 4. It's Nate, it's Riz Dog, it's Savannah, and is it Shannon? Is that what her name is? Right? I think and then you have Jawan and
What's her name?
Savannah? No, not Savannah.
Nope.
Sage.
Sage.
So Jawan and Sage are sort of on the outside. They're I think they see them in the episode talking do you feel like you're not with anybody? Yeah. And I wish that the 4 people, is this the common pattern we keep seeing is within a group of 6, 4 people say, okay, we're the main group. These 2 will be next. And the 2 people who are on the outs, they never put it together really because they're never told.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't that be the obvious move? Hey, are you in a core 4? No, me either.
If no one's talking to you, others are playing the game.
Even if they have this knowledge, even if they know it's 4 against 2, does it change the anything really? For anybody.
What, if you're a minority?
Well, I guess it's always this idea of we can't tell the people who are not part of the majority alliance that they're not in it. But why not?
Who's gonna tell?
Why can't?
Why do they keep it secret?
Yeah,
Because they'll play their advantage. They
could play
the shot in the dark.
They could be more desperate, make them feel safe, I guess is the mentality, and therefore they're less likely to play a shot in the dark, less likely to play an idol, whatever.
This is kind of why I don't like the shot in the dark, because people do try for blindsides all the time now, and they were exciting before, but I kind of want it to be more out in the open.
Well, I think because of the shot in the dark, you have some of this unsaid strategy playing out. The motivations are a little different than they used to be, where you might be a little bit more willing to take a risk, or maybe more willing just to say, okay, this is our alliance, and you're not in it.
Yeah.
But instead, I guess you try to make everyone feel comfortable, but and that means more deception, more lies. Does that make a better show, a better game? Either or.
Yeah, I mean, it does. They work. I don't know. I guess I think a little bit more we have an alliance and you're not in it. That doesn't happen anymore.
That's what it used to happen. Like when Sue was in like Sue
Yeah.
Hawk and all that. She's like, this is our, and Rudy, like they were like cutthroat. They're like, no, we have the alliance. That's it.
Yep.
You know. Anyway, it's more vibes now. It's all kumbaya.
Yep.
It's all golden.
Wasn't her final speech something about a snake?
Rats and snakes.
Yeah.
Rats and snakes.
Oh,
Chase the
They
snakes.
finally found the snake.
Matt the rat.
And they ate the rat, too. They ate the rat, and now they...
The snake ate the rat.
No, the people ate the rats.
But wasn't that in her speech? Like, the snake eats the rat, and that's why Richard won?
Yeah.
Isn't that...
He bamboozled them.
Well, the bamboozled thing was in a later season.
Oh.
He didn't say that in the original season. But
Bamboozled was used tonight as a word.
was it?
That was a callback word. Yeah,
It's in the vernacular.
yes.
Bamboozled.
Mhm.
Everyone, take note. I guess so. The other thing too with the Red Tribe that we haven't talked about is like Savannah, because Sage goes to Shannon, and Sage is like, I really trust Shannon because Shannon is in the group of Savannah, and so Shannon goes and tells Savannah that Sage is like kind of, that was the name that got thrown out there, and Savannah got very upset.
Why did she do that? Because she's like, I'm vibing. I thought she said she was vibing with Sage. We've got great eye contact, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes and burns her.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I guess because she's not loyal, she's ultimately more loyal to Savannah.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's why she tells her.
But
she doesn't have to tell her.
no, but like literally a second after she's talking how she's vibing with her. I'm like,
Yeah.
didn't make
Anyway, and
sense.
that got Savannah seems like a bit of like, if you say my name, if you like, if I'm in like if you're trying to pitch me, then I'm coming at you, I'm attacking you, and
Yeah.
but Shannon's like, no, don't do that, Savannah, because I don't want her to know that I did that, and so I don't know. I think that could be a dynamic that could play. We could see if Sage and Savannah end up on the same tribe in the next episode, if they're forced to sort of stick to the, be loyal to the soil, be loyal to Red.
Yeah.
Or because coming out of this episode tonight, it was like, okay, it's red and yellow moving forward, red versus yellow. And I imagine that's going to be the case going into the swap, but we'll see like that.
You think they're swapping to 2 teams or 3?
They'll swap to 2, I think.
They could do 3.
But why? Like, okay, how many people are left now? So you have 6, and 2, so 14. 14 divided by 3 doesn't work.
No. Okay.
So you have to do 2 tribes of 7.
Okay.
Which I'm okay with. Like I guess you do 2 tribes of 7, and like we said, you could have split up the 2 blue people and put them on the 2 different groups, or you could do what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess is, this might be a short one tonight because
Yeah. Well, short and sweet.
Because I kind of want to look ahead to the next episode because you kind of see sort of who is going to end up where.
Okay. Let's take a look.
Let's have a quick look here at the next time here on Survivor.
Everybody, drop your buffs. Oh. We're switching tribes.
Oh my God, yes. I feel like I just won the lottery.
Next time on Survivor.
Shannon is a shark in a spiritual guru's body.
He's cutthroat, like a freaking sociopath. Like, I'm sorry.
The game faces are on. I'm ready to go to war.
Okay, so we see. So from who we definitely know is on yellow. That's mostly revealed there. We see Rizzo. I always want to call him Riz God now. Rizzo.
God.
Matt is there.
Savannah.
Savannah's there. And the one Sophie without an E from Blue has ended up over there. And on the other side, we see that Steven and is it Shannon? Is Shannon the yoga, the one he references there, the one with the yoga powers, who's actually
wellness?
Yeah,
lady.
but it's all a ruse according to Steven.
Oh yeah,
That's
why?
what he just said.
It's BS.
Yeah, didn't you hear him say that?
Okay. Oh, sorry. No.
No? Okay.
No.
Well, he just did. He was like, "Oh, she's evil."
I was concentrating on the
You're just
the
watching
colors.
Buffs?
I was just watching Buffs.
You weren't like
I was
listening to the
to
words being
now.
said as well. Well, that's.
It's late.
But that would I my guess is that means that Alex and Sophie did not stay together.
Okay.
They were split up as a result of this swap. So I in that case, because they did get split up, I would have rather kept the original yellow and the original red together.
Original yellow and the original red. Okay. Just to keep that going, because now you're kind of starting from scratch again. And
well, there's pros and cons to splitting up the groups from moving forward here.
Yeah.
Because I think having the loyal, they're going to have that dynamic here for a little bit. By doing this, that loyal to your original tribe thing is going to fade within like a couple days.
Yeah.
Like by the time they get down to like the final 9.
But that's kind of all these reality shows anyway. Like no one's super loyal anymore. It's a constantly shell game of moving. Like people,
sure.
no one's
But
loyal for
you
more
just
than
accelerate
2 votes
that.
now anyway.
You get more individual.
Yeah.
Faster, and I guess that you might prefer that. I prefer I like the tribes being these separate entities, being these competitive entities longer. I think they go to the merge too soon.
Too soon.
I think keep them separate until like you get down to like the final, I don't know, 12 at minimum, maybe even the final 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would make better.
I was just gonna ask if you were Alex.
Blue Jays won. Woo!
Ooh, yay!
Yeah,
That's
Blue
it.
Jays.
Okay. Go Jays.
Go Jays.
If you were Alex, would you have played your idol?
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess that's the other thing we need to talk about is the end of the episode and the 3-way dynamic here of this final tribal. Jeremiah versus Alex versus Sophie without an E. And yes, Alex has the idol. They all know he has the idol. So Sophie, I get the impression in the episode, Sophie and Jeremiah, they would rather have gotten Alex out here. They would rather go together but the idol changes everything, right?
Yep.
It basically, there's more of a temptation if you're Sophie or you're Jeremiah to turn on the other rather than risk this idea of, okay, we're going to stick together and we're going to take our shot at Alex, but that depends on our confidence to convince Alex not to play the idol, which he nearly does.
Unless he was playing, but I thought he wasn't going to play it for half a second. And
it seems like he didn't know he was going to play it until the very end. He says to Jeff, "I was so close to not playing it."
Yeah,
I think you have to play it in a 3-way scenario like that. There's no way you could be that confident in Sophie.
No.
After 5 days, and she's not his number one.
No,
she wasn't.
No.
Right. So there's no way he can trust it. So, but he nearly does. I'd agreed.
Yeah.
Because this idea, I'll need it later. I'll need it like at final 5, assuming I get that far.
There are other idols to be found. Just
right.
Russell.
Right. But I like how Sophie says to Jeremiah going into it, like, let's vote him out and then get the idol out and then we can look for the idol tomorrow. Like, because it will come back in the game and maybe we can use it. And, but Sophie, I think Jeremiah does go through with this plan. He has his vote for Alex and Sophie doesn't. Sophie decides, she thinks ultimately he's going to play it.
Do you think she's going to go far?
No.
No.
I feel like Sophie was the weakest amongst this blue group here. And I feel like she's ultimately not going to get along, but maybe I'm wrong. It's gonna be interesting to see how we know she's gonna be on the new yellow tribe, whatever that fully looks like. And it would be interesting to see how she fits in there without, if she has no, if she's starting from scratch with no allies.
Yeah.
So I will reserve judgment here on Sophie. I think Jeremiah, I was really looking forward to seeing going further in the game. I was liking him as a character on the show. He was the other Canadian along with Jake. We lose them both in this episode. But the only other option here is you play your shot in the dark. What would have happened if they both played their shot in the dark, Jane? And they both, let's say Alex plays his idol. They both play their shots in the dark, and they both somehow miraculously they're both safe. And now,
a revote.
I don't know what they would do. I don't know.
I'm sure it's in the rules.
They gotta have a rule for it, right?
Do they publish this rule book?
I don't think so. But yeah, I don't know what they would do in that situation. I guess it's so unlikely that why. But is it that unlikely?
Draw rocks.
They might draw rocks.
Yeah.
They might go to rocks at that point because there's a deadlock.
Yeah.
They bring Jake in from the hospital. They say, "You're going to cast the decided vote here." As the most recent version of a Blue Tribe member.
Yeah. That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Unlikely, but
But that didn't play out here. Sophie's like, she doesn't trust that Alex isn't going to write down her name. Right? She like if you're in Sophie's situation here, and she's going to convince Alex that, okay, Alex, like, we're voting for Jeremiah. And then when Alex and Jeremiah talk, they're saying, oh, they're voting for Sophie. And basically they all have the same version of the conversation. So it comes down to who she trusts and what she thinks Alex will do. Ultimately, it doesn't even really matter who she trusts.
yeah.
Or who she wants to work with. But Jeremiah has the same calculation.
Yeah.
He ultimately is like, no, I'm going to stick with Sophie. I'm going to hope that this works and we convince Alex not to play it. And Sophie says, if he doesn't play the idol and I try to vote him out, like, moving forward, we have nothing.
So then do you think Alex made the right call in choosing Sophie to continue, like, that she's going to be loyal to him?
I think they both made the right call. I think for what the situation that they were given here,
Yeah.
I think the fact that if they had taken the shot and Alex plays the idol, then like, well, what's the point? Like, moving forward, they're not going to be a strong duo. They're not going to be able to work together. By voting with him here, she now has this look, I was always with you. I was, I was never going to stab you in the back.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you play the idol? I wanted us to have it, for later in the game, even though she is secretly happy that she got it out here on him, right?
Yeah.
So did Jeremiah, did he deserve to lose in this way because he doesn't vote for Sophie? Because what if he votes for Sophie, right? And it would come down to Alex's vote. Sorry.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't matter. So Jeremiah, if he believes Alex is voting for him, then Jeremiah has no hand other than a shot in the dark, maybe, which takes away his vote.
Yes. So he wouldn't have voted. So then it still would have been Alex's vote on.
But then Alex would have to vote for Sophie in that situation, because in that situation where, okay, everyone, we had a vote. Alex is safe because of the idol. Jeremiah is safe because he played his shot in his dark and somehow he's safe as well, right? Now, Sophie, you're the only one eligible for anyone to vote for.
Right.
Therefore, it has to be you.
Yeah, it would have to be.
So that was Jeremiah's only play. Assuming he knows that Sophie's not going to vote for him here. And Alex, you got to assume
this has happened in Survivor. There was only one person left. Everyone else was protected.
Yeah, you're the only one eligible to be voted out. So therefore, it has to be you.
Yeah, but again, if they both played their shot in the dark, both.
I just want to listen to what Jeremiah had to say here, and if he really anticipated that Sophie wasn't voting with him or not, or if it mattered.
I've wanted to play this game for 24 years, and I'm disappointed. There was just so many lows on Tribe Kella, but at the end of the day, I've learned so much about myself over the past 6 days. And so I definitely feel as though I walked away with my head held high. I had the time of my life, and I'm just so thankful.
Yeah, so we don't get much from Jeremiah there. He's happy, he's thankful, he had a great time. That's all fine. And I'm sure he'll do an exit interviews on the press tour, in the coming days. But really, I don't know if he even considered it. And I think that's if you're not a gamer, then maybe, as much as you might be like an entertaining person to watch on TV, maybe, I don't need you in the Survivor game. Depends. Do you care? Do you want strategic players in your Survivor contestants, or do you want people who are just more like crazy zany types, who are just
strategic?
You want strategic.
Yes,
you want to see people actually trying to win.
Yeah.
Not people stumbling into the finals
strategy.
or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Good to know.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Okay, well that's pretty much it. Who got decimated here? Actually, we need to update our little vote chart quickly here. So, we had Jake go out here. What, day 6?
Daryl.
Or Daryl, he loses his Jake.
It's not a good way to lose.
And then Jeremiah is Jeff's. So
Jeff.
4th voted out, day 6. So yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Jeff and Daryl. That's what they get.
That's what they get.
But our teams are good.
Yep. Still good. Still in the running.
You still got your Nate dog.
Got my,
and your Riz dog.
my Nate and my Rizzo.
Your Riz
Rizzo.
God. You got your Riz God and your Nate dog.
Mm-hmm.
And over, do you love Team Dave?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Yep.
It's good to rock.
Yep, I know them.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us, everyone. If you're watching us, whoever our lone viewer has been all night, we really appreciate that. Thanks for coming tonight, Jane, and
Thanks
being
for
here
inviting me.
so that I'm not talking to myself for an hour. So that's of much help. We'll be back in a week's time to talk about episode 4 of Survivor 49. Actually, I'd like to look at the title. To have a quick, we saw the preview there, but I just wanted to see what the name of the episode is. It's going to be called Go Kick Rocks, bro. Go Kick Rocks.
It's like go pound sand.
Yeah. Go kick rocks, bro. You got to start using that. All the kid terms are in these episode titles.
Cinematic.
Loveable Losers is this one has.
Yep.
And Go Kick Rocks, bro. So we'll be back. Also, check out on Live Long and Podcast tomorrow. I won't be on to host our Star Trek The Next Generation review, but Chris World by Murphy is filling in for Who Watches the Watchers in season 3 of Star Trek The Next Generation. So if you follow that, or you're a fan of the show, go check out that coverage because it's a lot of fun. All right, and we'll see you next time here on Super Mader Brothers Podcasting. Thanks to Jane, and we'll catch up with Foster, Jeff Mader, Jason Phillips, Becky, and Jameel Robinson all next week. They send their regrets. All right, well, let's get out of here for the night. And why can't I get that? Why is this not scrolling?
Scroll.
There you go. Okay, see you next time, everyone. Good night.
Bye.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mader Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.